All right. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to our Speak Out show, a show where we invite speakers, we invite experts and specialists from different areas of the world to come and discuss about issues that directly and indirectly affect young people all over the world. And today we have an amazing woman who has joined us and is going to be discussing an amazing topic on this show called Speak Out. The topic is understanding anxiety and depression in teens. And I am going to ask her to introduce herself before we can get into our questions for today. Yes, please. You're very welcome.
My name is Joy King. I am a psychiatric nurse practitioner and co-owner of Mental and Emotional Wellness Centers of Ohio.
Thank you so much, Joy, for accepting this invitation. So let's dive straight into our conversation for today of understanding anxiety and depression among teens. So, Joy, you often speak about mental wellness as more than just feeling okay. When it comes to teenagers, how do anxiety and depression typically show in ways that adults miss or misunderstand? So if you can just elaborate that for us. But also, as you're trying to answer that, maybe you can shed a light on what anxiety is and depression. Yes, go ahead.
Sure. When we talk about teens, anxiety and depression rarely look like the quiet sadness or worry adults expect. It often shows up sideways in ways that can be confusing if you're not looking beneath the surface. Many teens don't say, "I'm anxious" or "I'm depressed." Instead, you'll see things like irritability, anger, withdrawal, or sudden changes in behavior. A teen who snaps at everyone, stays in their room, or stops caring about school isn't necessarily being difficult. They may be overwhelmed and not able to express it. Anxiety can show up like professionalism, stomach aches, trouble sleeping, or avoiding situations that feel too stressful. Depression often shows up like fatigue, loss of interest in activities they once enjoyed, or a drop in motivation that can get mistaken for laziness. The key is remembering that teens communicate through their behavior just as much as they do their words. When something feels off, it's usually worth kind of pausing and getting curious and asking what might be going on beneath the surface with that teen.
Yeah. Wow. I must say, from what you have just explained, I personally have experienced that, and being a person who actually works with young people, I think I have seen a lot of that among us young people, and so yeah, this is a very great conversation to actually have, so that this kind of information can get out there and help so many other people. So for our next question. There is still a lot of confusion between normal teenage mood changes and serious mental health, just like you've just explained. How can parents, teachers, and peers tell the difference? That it's not just a mood change, but it is actually something serious. It's an anxiety or depression that is taking toll on these young people.
That's a great question. When you're working with teens, the line is typical moodiness and real mental health concerns can feel blurry. Yeah. But there are some reliable markers that help clarify what's going on. Normal mood changes tend to be short-lived, tied to a specific event, and don't significantly disrupt the teen's ability to function. Serious concerns, on the other hand, show up in patterns, changes for the last weeks, affects multiple areas of life, or feel out of character for that teen. A few signs that may go beyond typical ups and downs would be persistent worry about friends and family or activities they used to enjoy, just persistently withdrawing from those, noticeable changes in sleep, appetite, or energy that don't bounce back, irritability that feels constant, not just situational, drop in school performance, motivation, or concentration, or risk taking or self destructive behaviors that seem new or escalating. The biggest indicator is impact. If a teen's emotions or behaviors are interfering with daily life, school, relationships, self care, then that's a sign that it's more than just a phase. Parents and teachers and peers don't have to diagnose anything. You don't have to be a doctor or start labeling. What they need to do is really just notice when something feels off, stay curious rather than critical, and open to, conversations. Open that door. Teens often won't say, "I'm struggling," but they will show it. And the earlier adults respond with support, the better the outcome.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with you 100%. Yeah, I agree with you. Teens are very hard people to deal with. And so, yeah, I really agree with you. So, as we continue, from your experience, what are the biggest pressures driving anxiety and depression among teens today? Is it social media? Is it academics, family expectations, identity, or something deeper? Is something that we should look at that could be driving this kind of pressures among young people?
Thanks for asking. That's definitely a timely question. When you sit with teens every day, you start to see that anxiety and depression rarely come from just one source. It's usually a combination of pressures that stack up until they feel unmanageable. Social media plays a big role, not just because of screen time, but because teens are constantly comparing themselves to curated, unrealistic versions of other people's lives. Academics add another layer. Many teens feel like there's no room for mistakes, no space to breathe, and that their future depends on every grade. Family expectations, even well-intentioned, can feel heavy if the teen believes that they're letting somebody in their family down. But beneath all of that is something deeper. Teens today are growing up in a world that moves so fast, feels so uncertain, and the demands for constant performance. They're trying to figure out who they are while feeling watched, judged, and pressured from every direction. The result is the generation that not just feels weak, but overly sensitive. They're overwhelmed by a level of input and expectation that no human nervous system was designed to handle. So it's a lot of different things that really kind of impact.
I am trying to listen to you and I am looking at the similarities because you are in the US right now and I am in Uganda, in Africa. And from whatever you are sharing, it is something that actually happens in both contexts. And there is a lot of similarities. And I am sure that even our young people here on the ground in Uganda, when they listen to this kind of information, it will be very helpful, even for the other stakeholders like parents, families, the teachers, plus their peers. This would be a very great information for them to actually take in. So, many teens, especially here in Uganda, let me speak for Uganda. Many teens struggle in silence. Yeah. You mentioned it, you hinted on it as we were speaking. But why is it so hard for young people to talk about what they are feeling? What really happens, even when they know that something isn't right, and yet they still find it hard to actually open up?
Well, teens often stay silent not because they don't feel anything, but because the emotions feel too big, too confusing, or too risky to put into words. Developmentally, they're still learning how to understand their inner world, and many don't yet have the language to kind of describe what's happening inside of them. What comes out instead is the withdrawal, the irritability, the I'm fine, or even when, when they're not fine, they just say, I'm fine.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's also a deep fear of being misunderstood, judged,
Mm-hmm.
or dismissed. Teens worry about disappointing their parents, burdening their friends, or being seen as dramatic or weak. On top of that, they're
Yeah.
navigating a stage in life where independence matters. So admitting that you're struggling can feel like you're losing control, or like you're a baby, or you're not as independent as your friends. And finally, many teens genuinely believe that their feelings are normal, or that they should be able to handle everything on their own. Silence becomes a coping strategy, even though it often makes things harder. When adults create a calm and non judgmental space and show that they're willing to listen without rushing to fix the concern or to criticize it, teens are far more likely to open up.
Yeah. Oh, wonderful. Thank you so much. I pray that we move away from the aspect of taking in silence as a coping mechanism, because surely it doesn't help. My next question for you is, how do anxiety and depression affect decision making and self-esteem and relationships during these formative years for the teens?
Anxiety and depression can shape a teen's inner world in ways that ripple almost through every part of life, especially decision making, self esteem, and relationships. When a teen is anxious, their brain is constantly scanning for danger, even when there's none present. And that makes the decisions feel high, like they're high stakes and overwhelming. They may overthink every choice, or avoid new experiences, or rely on others to decide for them because the fear of making the wrong decision feels unbearable. Depression, on the other hand, can drain the motivation and make even the simplest decisions feel like they're pointless or exhausting. Self esteem takes a hit because most conditions distort how teens see themselves. Anxiety tells them that they're not good enough. Depression tells them that they don't matter. Over time, this can chip away at the confidence, the identity development, and the belief that they're capable or worthy. Relationships often become strained because teens pull away from their friends and families, not because they don't care, but because they feel overwhelmed, ashamed, or convinced that they're a burden. Others may become more irritable or reactive, which can be misread as an attitude rather than emotional pain. Anxiety can make them overly dependent or fearful of conflict, while depression can make them, connect and feel too heavy. These years are critical for teens and learning who they are and how they relate to the world. So when anxiety or depression gets in the way, teens need support, not pressure, to help them rebuild the trust in themselves, their choices, and their relationships.
Yeah, I must say I have seen one lady who was stressed because of a relationship, and at a very young age, at a very young stage. I don't it, I have seen in American movies that young girls are openly accepted to get into relationships, which is not the case here in Africa. It's highly forbidden, although it is there, but it is
Yeah.
forbidden because of cultural reasons. But I saw one girl who got into a relationship like that, and then it it didn't go well, and she was so stressed for 1 week, second week, third week, got into a month, and it turned into a depression, serious depression. And she went through all those phases that you were talking about, and started isolating herself, overly crying. Her decision, the decisions she used to make, started becoming blurry, and she didn't want to be part of anything. And
Yeah.
so, yeah, so it is very important that, yeah, we listen to we are involved in the lives of these young people, in the lives of the teens, so that we can support them. Yeah.
For sure.
Um,
Yeah.
yes. For those that are joining us, this is the Speak Out Show, where we talk about issues that directly and indirectly affect young people. And today we have Joy from the US who is sharing with us on the topic of understanding anxiety and depression among teens. So as we continue, for our next question, we are going to talk about the practical tools here and the support that we can offer them. If a teenager listening right now feels overwhelmed, constantly worried, or emotionally numb, what are 3 practical steps they can take immediately to begin coping in a healthy way?
Great question. When a teen feels overwhelmed, worried, or emotionally shut down, the first steps don't need to be big. They just need to be grounding and doable. 3 things that can help right away is 1, slowing down your body so your mind can catch up. A few deep breaths, steady breaths, a short walk, or even splashing cool water on your face can calm your nervous system enough to think more clearly. You don't have to fix everything. Just help your body feel a little safer in the moment. The second thing is tell a trusted person that you're struggling. You don't need the perfect words. Something as simple as, I'm not okay today, or I feel overwhelmed, opens the door to support. You're not meant to handle heavy feelings on your own. Lastly, break your day into small, manageable steps. When everything feels too big, choose 1 simple task, eat something, take a shower, finish 1 assignment, or step outside for fresh air. Small wins help build a sense of control and momentum. These steps don't replace long-term support, but they can make the next moment feel a little more manageable. And that's often where healing kind of begins.
Yeah, thank you so much. So you have given 3 very practical ways, very practical tools. Now, but that was for the teenagers. Now, for adults who have these teens around them, maybe teachers or parents or the rest of the community, what role do trusted adults play in supporting teens with anxiety and depression? And what mistakes should adults avoid when trying to help?
Okay. Trusted adults can make an enormous difference for teens who are struggling, often more than they realize. When a teen is dealing with anxiety or depression, a steady, caring adult becomes an anchor, someone who helps them feel safe, understood, and less alone in what can feel like a chaotic inner world. Trusted adults support teens by offering calm presence, not pressure. They listen without jumping to conclusions, validate feelings instead of minimizing them, and help teens break overwhelming problems into manageable steps. Just knowing an adult is constantly there, checking in, showing interest, and staying patient can reduce a teen's sense of isolation and shame.
Wow. Thank you so much. That is very helpful. I think for all the adults that are watching this episode, this will be helpful for them so that they are able to manage and to handle the issues that their teens are going through very well. So
some of the things that they want to make sure that they avoid. Some of the biggest mistakes adults tend to make come from good intention but wrong approach.
Okay.
Trying to fix everything too quickly can shut a teen down because the message sends that their feelings aren't inconvenient or irrational. Dismissing their emotions as normal teen stuff or comparing them to others or to themselves when they were their age can make them feel misunderstood. And pushing too hard, such as lecturing, interrogating, or demanding explanation, often backfires, making teens retreat even further. So, what teens need most is an adult who listens more than they talk, stay curious instead of critical, and shows that support doesn't depend on perfect behavior or perfect words. That kind, steady compassion and presence can be a lifelong, can be like a lifeline to them during that time.
Yeah. Actually, from just you mentioned something at it, and it made me laugh because I remembered that uh, as I keep on working with young people, with teens and young adults, I have realized that when a teenager comes to you to speak to you about something, they usually don't like it when you give them advice on what they should do. All they want is you to listen to them. That is all. So
That's it.
when you start interrupting them and giving them advice, do this, do this, do that, because I did this, so I think you should do this, they just back off
Yep,
and
they do.
they withdraw. So I think what you mentioned is very, very correct and very true. It's something that as adults we need to look out for and not try to push and interrogate and push in our ideas
Mm-hmm.
in these young people. Yes.
For
Um,
sure.
yeah. So as we continue, looking at the community in general, I know you work with the community in Ohio.
Mhm.
So as a community, in communities where mental health is still stigmatized, how can teens seek support without fear, shame, or judgment? Here in Uganda, mental health is stigmatized. As a matter of fact, we have we have not yet uh, accepted the concept of mental health as being real. For us in Africa, we actually think it's a white man's thing. It's something that comes from the West, and slowly by slowly, some people are adapting and understanding that so maybe the things we are going through is a mental problem. It's an issue of mental wellness. But from your experience, in communities that mental health is still stigmatized, how can teens seek support without fear or shame or judgment?
In communities where mental health is stigmatized, teens often feel like they have to hide their struggles. And there are ways to reach out safely and confidently. And teens can start by turning to adults or peers who have shown that they already are trustworthy. You know, people that they already rely on, that they kind of see as that safe person. People who listen. Sometimes a teacher or a coach or a school counselor, an extended family member, or even a friend of a parent. These adults can become quiet bridges to support them when home or community may feel a little bit less open. Another option is seeking help in spaces that protect privacy, like school, counseling offices, or youth programs, or even if you have in Uganda confidential hotlines. In the United States, we do have it's a 988, and you
We
can
don't have
call.
that in Uganda.
Yeah, you can call 24 hours a day and talk to someone, just a
Wow.
person just to listen.
Wow.
But many teens, feel more comfortable, just starting with an anonymous, low pressure resource like that kind of lets them explore their feelings without being labeled. And, finally, teens can remind themselves that needing help doesn't mean something is wrong with them. It means they're human. Reaching out is an act of courage, not weakness. And when they take that first step, even in a community that doesn't fully understand mental health yet, they're choosing their well being over stigmas. And that choice can be life changing.
Wow. Wow, that's amazing. You talked of helplines. I don't think we have that here in Uganda, but based on the work that we have been doing over the years, um, I as a team leader of Move Network International, I reached out to some people outside Uganda who were willing to offer their time to actually help young people who are going through such kind of issues. And so we put out a call out there for anyone who needs mental support or psychosocial support or anything, or they need to talk to someone or need counseling. And so many young people reached out and
Good.
we connected them to specialists, to experts who were able to help them. We helped a number of them, but we somehow uh, closed the program. I think it's something that we should look through and revive because it's really helpful.
Yeah.
So as we are about to wind up, for our next question, we are going to look at how we can now build resilience and hope among the teens. So these following questions will help us do that. So, Joy, you emphasize resilience and emotional skill. How can teens build resilience while still honoring their feelings instead of supporting them? Suppressing them.
So, resilience isn't about toughing it out or pretending everything is fine. For teens, real resilience comes from learning how to feel their emotions without being overwhelmed by them. Teens build resilience when they name what they're feeling instead of pushing it down. Putting words to emotions, I'm stressed, I'm sad, I'm angry, I'm afraid, helps the brain make sense of them and reduces their intensity. They also grow stronger when they practice healthy coping skills, such as, taking a break or reaching out to someone they trust or using the grounding techniques we spoke of, the deep breaths and things like that, when emotions are running high. Most importantly, resilience develops when teens learn that feeling deeply doesn't make them weak. It means they're human. Honoring their emotions while finding safe ways to express them, such as journaling. They can just take a notebook every day, or when they're feeling overwhelmed or feeling their feelings, and they can write about them, talking, being creative, moving their bodies, dancing, teaches them a way that they can handle hard moments without shutting down. Over time, that balance between emotional honesty and healthy coping becomes the foundation of true resilience.
Wow. Oftentimes we think resilience means being strong, not showing any form of we can't show that we are low or down. But that is very good. So this question is a little bit personal from your own experience. What gives you hope when you're working with young people facing anxiety and depression? And what message do you want teens to hear about their future?
Well, what gives me hope, every single day is just how much strength teens already carry, often without even realizing it. Even when they're anxious, depressed, or overwhelmed, they still show up. They keep trying. They ask hard questions and, they care deeply about the things that they care about. And they're far more insightful than, what we give them credit for sure. When a young person starts to understand their emotions and learns to ask for help, even when they, just have to admit I'm struggling, that's just weakness. It just shows their courage already. Watching the teens that are watching, this show today, I hope that they grow into that, into that courage, because that's one of the most powerful things that they can, develop as a teen. The message that I would want to tell every teen is your future is not identified or defined by how you feel today. Anxiety and depression can make your world feel small, but they don't get to decide who you become. You're still growing, you're still learning, you're still capable of building a life that is meaningful and good. And hard moments don't last forever. You don't have to face them alone. And, there are people who want to support you. And there are tools that can help you make you feel better. And your story is still unfolding and there's so much ahead of you. And, it's worth you staying for it.
Yeah, that is very good. Thank you so much for that. And I think teens should learn to ask for help. Like you said, it's very important they learn to ask for help. Most of them get into the deepest places and that are hard to come out of because they fear to ask for help and they don't want to appear weak. So that is very good. Yeah, thanks for that great advice. For our last question, as we wind up today, if you could leave young people with one mindset shift about anxiety and depression that could genuinely change how they see themselves and their struggles, what would that be?
My one mindset shift that I want every young person to carry with them is your anxiety and depression are experiences you're having. They're not identities you're becoming.
Mhm.
When
Mhm.
teens start to see their struggles as states rather than definitions, everything changes. The
Yeah,
whole meaning changes. You're not broken, you're going through something. You know,
yeah.
it's not, their feelings are real, but they're not permanent. Their challenges say nothing about their worth or their potential. So kind of having them shift out of that mindset, and help remind them that what they're feeling is part of being human. It's not a verdict or who they'll become.
Yeah, yeah. That is very important. So, for all the young people out there, for all the teens, whatever you're going through does not mean that that is who you are. It's just a process. It's just a phase in life, and nothing is there permanently in our lives. We change, and situations change, circumstances change, and yeah, we know that things will be better one day. So, thank you so much, Joy, for sparing your time
You're welcome.
to be part of this show, being part of Speak Out. The information and the insight that you have shared today is going to be very helpful to so many young people out there, and we are going to share it widely in different groups so that they can learn a thing or two about how to understand anxiety and depression, and also how to deal with it, because so many people are struggling with it out there. And it's very good to know that whatever you have shared, most of what you have shared actually relates to even the people down here in Uganda. And it's not just something that is American or for the white man, like we always say here in Africa.
Right.
So, yeah. So, thank you so much for your time. I am very glad that you have joined us, and may God bless you. Yeah.
Thank to
Yeah.
you. Take
Yeah.
care.